How early investors became millionaires overnight. In every heart's secret chamber, there lies a desire as ancient as time itself. Yes, right there, that could be me. Or more importantly, that could be you, celebrating, living the dream, enjoying financial freedom. Just $8 in 2009 would have bought you more than a whopping 10,000 Bitcoin. The fact is, I did. What? You don't believe me? Look at the transaction in the above screenshot. Okay, I'm not saying that's my actual purchase transaction back in 2009. I'm saying I purchased a crazy amount of Bitcoin. How many? Hundreds to thousands? I don't remember exactly. You might say, well, Quint, if you bought thousands of Bitcoin in 2009, why are you not a millionaire now? It's a long story. How long do you have? Hi, my name is Quint F. Kamba. I'm the author of Bitcoin, How I Almost Had It All, Dear Aphrodite, My Love, and The Wolf, the Hound, The Little Black Sheep, and The Banquet in the Congo. What is Bitcoin? But Quint, who cares about Bitcoin anyway? I hear it's only good for buying dodgy merchandise on the dark web. I don't actually get it. Hold on to your seat. I will explain in very simple terms, so even a 5-year-old child can understand. Throughout all of human history, there's only ever really been one kind of money. Can you guess what that is? Let me think. The US dollar. Not quite the US dollar, no, but hold that thought. We'll revisit it shortly. Throughout history, true money has been synonymous with gold. Occasionally, other precious metals played a part, even cowrie shells and glass beads in Africa. But gold always reigned supreme. You could say for millennia it was only gold, until 2009 when Bitcoin made its debut. So you see, Bitcoin is a game changer of colossal proportions. Gold. Here's a little-known nugget, Quint. Gold was forged in the heart of exploding stars known as supernovae. While I can understand gold's historical use as money, Bitcoin's role as money puzzles me. Care to shed some light on it, Quint? You've really struck gold with that insight about the origins of this precious metal. And I appreciate you sharing that tidbit. Gold's rarity, durability of its shine, and its value rooted in scarcity has wowed mankind since the ancient African kingdoms of Kush, in present-day Sudanese regions, where it was used in all forms of trade. Trade has been a part of human existence since the very beginning, back when we first started walking on 2 legs. Initially, we used barter, exchanging goods for other goods. But that eventually evolved into trading goods for gold. As for money, gold has served mankind well, enabling him to perform all kinds of trade. But lugging around gold bars or coins isn't hugely practical. That's why paper money, backed by gold, was invented, to offer a more convenient way to buy and sell goods. Paper certificates backed by gold, a fabulous Chinese invention. Unfortunately, sooner or later, somebody figured out that they could just print paper money, called fiat, which means let it be so, or simply agree that this worthless piece of paper is backed by gold even though it's not. The problem with paper money or cash is that it's not backed up by anything. Governments can just print as much of it as they like. The result of this is hyperinflation, or runaway inflation, loss of purchasing power, and complete dilution of wealth. Trust me, I have first-hand experience of this, having lost all my savings when, as a result of sanctions, Zimbabwe started printing Zim dollars like monopoly money to the point they had a banknote denominated at $100 trillion. The banknote was worth just a meager $5 in US currency. To put it into perspective, USD 100 trillion is more than the yearly economic output of all the countries in the world put together. estimated at only USD $85.8 trillion. Have fun calculating the percentage rate of inflation in Zimbabwe when this banknote was printed. Inflation silently erodes both incomes and personal wealth. As prices continually rise due to inflation or money printing, the real value of money in terms of the quantity of goods and services it can buy decreases, diminishing your savings' ability to secure your financial future. Well, Quint, it seems we've found ourselves in a classic catch-22 situation. But surely you're not trying to tell me that the US dollar is ever going to go the way of the Zimbabwe dollar, are you? No, heavens forbid. But most countries in the world are not as lucky to have a strong currency as the US dollar. But even the US dollar is not immune to damaging effects of rising inflation. One can imagine a tipping point beyond which no government can continue to print money without seriously damaging the economy and diluting wealth. This is where Bitcoin comes in. Bitcoin saves the world. Ooh la la. Okay, I know that response. Most people roll their eyes and stop listening as soon as Bitcoin is mentioned. But lend me your ears for a minute and I will explain what makes Bitcoin so special. Simply put, Bitcoin is digital gold. Yes, you heard that right. Bitcoin is digital gold. I know. That's the bit that most people find hard to understand. Let me explain it in a way that even a small child will understand. In 2008, an individual using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto introduced a revolutionary form of digital currency that could be transmitted over the internet as computer code, and named it Bitcoin. This unique currency shared all the characteristics of gold with the added advantages of anti-counterfeiting measures and a fixed supply immune to arbitrary inflation through excessive money printing. The key point to understand here is that, for the first time in human history, we have something that is better than gold to use for trading and as a secure store of value. Unfortunately, this is where things get really complicated. How is Bitcoin better than gold? Why is it better than gold, and so on? Advantages of Bitcoin. It operates on a decentralized system, which means no single entity has control over it. This makes it incorruptible, ensuring privacy and security for its users. Transactions are fast and cheap, unlike traditional banking systems. Bitcoin has a scarce supply, capped at 21 million units, making it even scarcer than gold. With Bitcoin, you can make direct transactions without intermediaries, and its value is backed by the underlying blockchain technology. You can spend and receive Bitcoin without needing a bank or government, offering global accessibility. Truly, Bitcoin has the potential to redefine the future of global finance. Disadvantages of fiat currency. Fiat is subject to inflation and is controlled by central banks. It relies heavily on intermediaries, making it susceptible to the printing of more money. This makes it vulnerable to government influence. Its value is derived from debt and relies on trust in a central authority. Excessive printing can erode its value, and it is susceptible to economic instability and geopolitical factors. If this side-by-side comparison of Bitcoin and fiat raises more questions than answers, don't worry. By the end of this short video, you will almost be an expert on Bitcoin. It's far simpler to understand than a golf swing. So if you can hit a golf ball, you can certainly understand Bitcoin. So, think of it like this. When the Wright brothers invented the airplane and told everyone in 1903 that people would be flying across continents in the future, nobody believed them. You only have to venture outside for a few minutes to see how ubiquitous airplanes are today. What a long way we have come since 1903. Imagine what they'll be saying about Bitcoin 120 years from today. We have already seen how paper money, or its more technical name fiat, is very, very bad. It can be inflated by excessive printing and other economic factors. Gold's limitation is mainly around its portability and security. Imagine trying to buy a new car with gold. Not only would you need a few gold bars, you would also need to securely transport them across town whilst avoiding getting robbed. Once delivered, the car dealer still has to verify that the gold bars are not fake gold-plated tungsten bars, that they are, in fact, sound money. As you can see, that's a real pain in the butt. Now imagine you're purchasing that car from another country. It gets complicated very quickly, as the logistics mount up to unimaginable proportions. Guard the keys? Remember I said that the Bitcoin network is a peer-to-peer network. That means that there is no third party or banker managing the Bitcoin network. You can as easily send Bitcoin to your next-door neighbor or someone anywhere in the world. Timbuktu, China, Zimbabwe, South Africa, India, USA, anywhere at all, without the involvement of any bank or government. This is really powerful stuff. This magic is only possible due to the complex maths or cryptography implemented as code that we talked about earlier. Yes, if you are anything like me and you hated maths at school, this is maths at work, my friend, so suck it up. When you buy or earn Bitcoin, you have to play the very important part of becoming something like a real banker. Yeah, that's right. You get an upgrade for free. Think of it like this. You buy or get your Bitcoin and place it in a digital vault called a wallet, protected by a digital key called, simply, a private key. You can think of the Bitcoin private key as a very special password. You must keep this password safe and never lose it or reveal it to another living soul. Okay. I hear you shouting, that's all very interesting, Quint. But people really want to know what happened to your thousands of Bitcoin and why you're not a millionaire and are still working 9 to 5 like every fool out there. Hold on. I'm coming to that, trust me. Above is what a Bitcoin private key might look like. Do not lose this key. Well, this is the problem right there. I bought thousands of Bitcoin in 2009 and lost my Bitcoin key. No key, no Bitcoin. If you want to know how I lost my keys, it was very simple. My dear wife put the only piece of paper with the Bitcoin private key and wallet through the shredder, and poof, there goes hundreds of millions of dollars. So notice I said, Bitcoin wallet and private key. Think of the wallet as the address on the Bitcoin blockchain, where your newly purchased Bitcoin is stored. The wallet tells you the location or public address of your Bitcoins on the Bitcoin network or blockchain, and it is from this address that you can receive more Bitcoin or send some Bitcoin to a friend or to buy that new dream car you always wanted. Everyone can see the coins on the Bitcoin network, but only you can access them with your private key. As long as you don't go telling everyone on social media that the address with 10,000 Bitcoin is yours, no one will know it's your Bitcoin address. It's kind of hard to understand, but think. Anyone can come to your house, but they can't get into your house without your house keys. So, me being a complete idiot, lost my keys and a whole bunch of money. To continue with the analogy, I lost the keys to the mansion and was never allowed back in. At the time this happened, my stash of Bitcoin was worth less than $100, so it really did not matter to me much. I decree that all shredders are banned forever henceforth. But seriously, fast forward a few years later, and my lost stash is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Am I still married to the same woman? As you can see, marriage can turn out to be one of the most dangerous things you can do to your financial health. What would you do? To be fair, I should have taken better care of my private keys, so it was entirely my fault. Besides, you can't really lose something you never actually had. This is so important, I feel that it should be repeated multiple times. Without getting at all technical, Think of the Bitcoin key as a digital key that permits you to open your digital vault to your crypto fortune. The Bitcoin key is a private key. You must keep it secret and never lose it. Guard it with your life. Here be dragons. Enter if you dare. If you share your private Bitcoin key with anyone, or someone else finds your key, they can just go to any computer connected to the internet, anywhere in the world, and access your Bitcoin using your key, and steal your coins, and use them to buy luxury goods. And there's nothing you can do about it. If you lose your key, it doesn't matter whether you have 1 Bitcoin or 1,000,000 Bitcoin, or you're the CEO of a company or president of a country. You will not be able to access your Bitcoin. No one else in the world will be able to access them for you either. So your Bitcoin is lost forever. Chew on that for a little while. This is very bad for you, but actually really good for the Bitcoin currency. This is because it means anytime an idiot like myself loses their Bitcoin key, the number of Bitcoins in circulation is reduced by that number, which will make Bitcoin more scarce and typically cause the value of Bitcoin to go up. Good for everyone else still holding on to their keys, but not so good for you. Trust me though, you never ever want to lose your keys. It is the quickest route to losing your mind. Consider yourself lucky. If you're reading or listening to this, then you've been warned well. There are strategies you can take to ensure you do not lose your Bitcoin key, such as printing it on several bits of paper and hiding them in different locations around your house. I'm sure that you can come up with better strategies than this, but whatever you do, avoid storing the keys on a device that's connected to the internet in case your device is hacked. In case you're put off by the idea of holding millions of dollars worth of your life savings in Bitcoin on a piece of paper, worry not. Nowadays, there are devices called hardware wallets that will safely store your Bitcoin offline. I would have called them personal crypto vaults myself, but I'm not the inventor of Bitcoin, so hardware wallets it is. Like it or not, we live in an increasingly digital world now. Most of our lives are playing out online. We purchase goods online. We work and sell services online. It is no wonder then that eventually a common currency for the internet will emerge, organically. Some people think that that currency is already here, and it is Bitcoin. The future is here. It is highly likely that the knowledge barrier and learning curve associated with understanding Bitcoin creates a high-level entry to its mass adoption. However, I can say with a degree of confidence that purchasing and storing Bitcoin in 2023 is far easier than it was when I first purchased Bitcoin back in 2009. There is also a lot more help available in regards to figuring out how to purchase, store, and send Bitcoin safely now than back in the day. If you're not sure how to, just go to YouTube, search how to purchase Bitcoin, and you will find a ton of very informative step-by-step instructions. Whilst this should not be considered as financial advice and you must do your own research, if you have never purchased or received Bitcoin, a good starting point might be to register an account with a reputable crypto exchange, such as Kraken, Coinbase, or Binance, to name a few. Once again, always do your own research and speak to a qualified, reputable financial advisor before embarking on any form of crypto trading or investment. The point I'm trying to make is that nowadays it is a lot easier to purchase and hold your Bitcoin safely, because there are a multitude of services and tools to help you perform that task. The only issue is that there are now a plethora of other cryptocurrencies and tokens masquerading as alternatives to Bitcoin that will tempt the unassuming newbie to dip their toes and lose all their money. Extreme caution is of the utmost importance.